In this video, I'm going to talk about how we can provide a little bit of structure to something that we do with our dogs a lot, which is petting them. I consider petting a dog our way of paying or compensating the dog. Right now, the dogs come up and nudge the humans or jump up on the humans or scratch at the humans to say, "Pet me, damn it." Now, it might be cute, but they're still giving us an order. And if we consistently follow the dog's order, after a while, it gives the dog the impression, I have dominion over the humans. So the next time the dog comes up and nudges you, instead of petting it, give it a counter order. Sit. When it sits, then I reach under and I pet it under its chin and I say the word sit. Not good sit, just the word sit. After a while, after enough repetition, what will happen is the dog will come and start sitting in front of you and prepaying. Look, I'm sitting. Shouldn't you be petting me? Yes, we should, as much as we can. We don't have to every time, but as much as we can. Otherwise, the dog will revert back to the other behavior. For dogs, good attention from the human and bad attention from the human, not very big a difference. So if you're praising the dog and loving it, how wonderful that she is, or yelling at the top of your voice that you're not happy, I'm still getting your attention as a dog. That's validating. So what will happen is, like I said, the dog will come start sitting in front of you or laying down in front of you. Now, if it comes up and it sits and I want to pet it, I ask it to lay down, or I come and ask it to sit over here. And then after a while, like I said, the dog will start prepaying. Now, this will transition to what I call passive training, which we covered in another video. Now, one of the things that you won't realize is how often you pet your dog. I was working with a woman in Santa Monica where she's sitting on the couch and her dog is right here. And so I'm just like, okay, so this is petting with a purpose. I'm going to ask you temporarily to stop petting your dog. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, okay, so I don't want you to pet your dog anymore unless you're petting your dog again. Oh. 3 times in the course of 15 seconds of me explicitly telling her not to pet her dog, she reached over to pet her dog. She just didn't have any concept that she was doing it. So what I would recommend is another watchword. The word I usually use is paycheck. So if you come in the room and you see that your spouse is petting the dog, then you would say paycheck, and then your spouse immediately raises their arm and then says sit. As soon as the dog sits, we reach under, we pet it and say sit. And then I can turn to my spouse and say, Ashley, you know what? I asked the dog to sit before you came in the room. When you came in the room, the dog stood up and I continued to pet. And that is allowed. But what I'd recommend you do is stop petting. Buddy, can you hold on a sec? Is stop petting the dogs at all unless they do something to earn it. Sitting and laying down are hardly asking a lot. And like I mentioned earlier in a different video, those are more subordinate positions. So every time we ask our dog to sit, that's a mini dog training obedience session that we do without even thinking about it. Now, I like to use a cupped hand like this. Come here. Come here. I gotta load it up with a treat. So you know that, yes, oh yes, okay. So if I want her to get up or to lay down, I go like this. Just an arc over her head. As soon as she lays down, I lower my hand, let her chew it off my fingers, and I say this command word, sit. At the same time, I tickle under their chin. Now, we're not always going to give a treat, although we should as much as we can. Most people are in such a hurry to get their dog away from treats, but this is how we pay them. Matter of fact, for the petting with a purpose, I usually, when I'm dealing with children, I say petting our dogs is our way of saying thank you. Would you say thank you before someone gives you a piece of candy or afterwards? Afterwards, right? So we're going to ask our dog to sit, and then we're going to thank them for sitting by petting them. Sit. Petting with a purpose is, I mentioned earlier for passive training, which is an offshoot of, but petting with a purpose and passive training are the 2 easiest things that you can do for your dog that will have the biggest impact on their behavior. If you get in the habit of doing it, it truly is a gift. And every time you do it, it helps the dog develop just a smidge more respect for you as an authority figure. And because we pet our dogs and do these things hundreds of times a day, at the end of a week, we've done it 1,000 times, and we haven't even spent any time thinking about it. Sit. That's what I like to call petting with a purpose.